Pause for just a second. Oh, there we go. We have oh man, I think let's see here. Where are we at? I think we are having a slight difficulty. Give us just a second as we fix this. All right, sounds like our speakers are working. All right, so as we get back to the game, for those that are just joining us, we will have the Twitter space attached to this so you can hear the first part of sound. We apologize for missing that. So that might be what some of those waves were. But fun times ahead of us. As always, we want to thank you through technical difficulties as we have just started this past week doing TacoBytes, both IRL via video and in our Twitter space. So as we deep dive back into this, we're going to go directly over to our staked pools, and we're going to see what pools that we put into and what we have left in them, and what we have going on here for just a quick second as we work to make sure everything is set up right. We want to find our staked pools. And what we have going on here is, so we can show our Fort USDC. We put in, I think it was $15 into this pool. So we've made $8 because the price of Fort has gone up. And we have about 32 cents Fort in pending rewards. And we put in $25 into QF USDC. So it looks like it's lost some value. But at the same time, we've made some good rewards within Bonk, Franc, Dust, and USDC. So I never turned down solid stables as a payout. This was one of our funner pools to put into because there's a lot of risk there with a lower TVL. That's only $1,854 of TVL. It was around $2,000, $2,500 when we put into it, but we just wanted to show what would, the different rewards you can get from a token from participating and being part of the ecosystem. And so one of the really cool features within Radium is a harvest all feature. So we can, by harvesting all, we'll get to see all of the tokens that we get back at once. A little Dust, USDC, Fort, Franc, and Bonk. And that is what we get. And so we get to clear out our harvest all in one transaction rather than two separate transactions. And so we get to save a little bit of costs on that. One of the big things, too, I want to point out is that once you do a transaction, you can go back and do whatever else you need to do. And so we get to see what's going on and see what they have going on as some other pools. One of the big APRs I love to look at because I'm a Degen is I love to go to their timeline basis for 24 hours. And I like to see with the APRs to sort of then go see if there's any Degen plays to go do. As we can see right now, one of the pools that we are in is the USDC Fort, and that's paying 959% APR over the last 24 hours. And then there's a new pool open called SAW USDC with 8,000% APR over the last 24 hours. And that means that if the payout that's the incentivization that's paid out right now is paid out over an entire year, it would be 8,000% of what you put in. Obviously, that is not sustainable, and that is not the case. It just has history to go off of what it's sort of doing. So there's some interesting things to look at there and see. And then at the same time, one of the fun things that I love to do is go over TVL and see where the good TVL is and see what's moving around, if it's going up, if it's staying stable, and if it's moving here or there. And we get to see, if that is a good play. One of the big pools that we missed out on right around Christmas. It had almost 500,000% APR. It was like a zero followed by a whole bunch of other zeros. Was Franc. And we could have got into that and then, or no, not Franc, but Bonk. And we could have gotten into that Bonk pool super early and then come around like January, 5th when it was at its high around like 14 cents or so. We could have made a whole bunch. Instead, we chose to take the airdrop that we were given and have a lot of fun with that and add it back into the ecosystem and see how that turned out. We did pull profits. That is one of the things that I always recommend doing because pulling profits, pulling out your investment and pulling profits then makes the money that's left over. Your brain is less tied to it. Your heart is less tied to it. And you seem to be smarter with it. Make smarter decisions with that money. And that's one of the things that I always recommend that we do is do smarter things with our money, make passive income, LP pools, trading, whatever floats your boat. That is the big piece on that. Next up, we're going to visit their pools page. One of the things really easy within Radium is showing my liquidity if you have any in there. And you can sort of see right now, one of the ecosystems that I'm giving back to is Filth, which is Liberty Square HQ's total, what's the word I'm thinking of, is their token for Liberty Square. Liberty Square is giving back a lot to the community, and the least I can do for Liberty Square is give back into USDC pool so that those that need money from Filth can pull it out. And it's really cool to see that it's a pretty stable pool and just slowly goes up in value, which really makes me happy as the team burns off stuff. So really happy with that there. Next up, we have our concentrated liquidity. I don't remember if we kept any of our pools in concentrated liquidity. We're going to go over, yes, RLB. So we are in position, and what we're going to go over real quick is this is, there's $2,000 in liquidity, $10,000 of volume in the last 24 hours. So it's a very active trade between RLB and Sol with 1,200% APR. And so right now our APR range is 510%. And so we're going to look at our pool so we can sort of showcase what that is. It looks like RLB is down a little bit. We put $5 in. Right now we're at a total of $3.91. But we do have 7 cents in harvest. And so though price has gone down a little bit, we do have a little bit more RLB. We put in one RLB just to sort of showcase what this really looked like, and so we could really have some fun with that. So we're gonna pull that back out, and we are going. So as you can see, we have a lot of RLB, not a lot of and zero Sol in our deposit range. So one of the things we can always do here is we can add liquidity back. We can max liquidity that 4 cents of RLB, 1 cent of Sol, and that what that does is that follows the ratio guideline, that 86 to 13%. So we're going to do that, and this is how you add liquidity back into that position. Do remember that within Radium, that concentrated liquidity comes across as an NFT. So you have an NFT of your position there, and it's a really fun way of keeping track of your position, but also it's a position that has a value. And so by having a value, you can then trade your position or sell your position to someone else, and they can take over where you left off. And it's a really cool thing to be able to control your assets. Shout out to TJ for joining us tonight, sir. Hope that you are well. We are, if you wish, you can join us on the jumbotron, or you can join us in the studio. As we're going over some DeFi protocols today with the start of our DeFi protocol, Radium. The link to join the stream is the second bullet point within the jumbotron, and that's same invite goes to you, Hart, if you want to join us on screen as well as we sort of go through this. So next up, as we can see, those transactions were submitted and completed. And so last but not least, we're going to show off some liquidity piece and our USDC filth. I don't know if we have any filth in this wallet. Oh, we do. But I don't know if we don't have enough USDC to really do anything. So we're going to add a little bit of filth and a little bit of USDC to this pool just to sort of always give back a little bit to the Solana ecosystem, give back to Liberty Square ecosystem, and have some fun there. Next up, and that is pretty much the last piece. The last piece that we're going to cover in Radium is the Ray staking protocol piece. As you can see, it's an 11% APR. We've been just slowly compounding Ray and staking it just to sort of do our own little thing to give back to Radium a little bit. And so that's one of the fun ways that we're able to do that and stake it back in to sort of give back to the community, but also because we have belief in the protocol. By having belief in the protocol, we're able to show what we think the value is. And so we have belief in Radium. We have belief in the DEX itself. So this is our way of sort of giving back to that and having a good time. Before we move on, Hart, any questions?
Yes, I do. You're talking about Radium. Is that an app or is that a website?
So it is a website. We actually posted in the comments Radium's Twitter handle and their website. So it is a website where you need either the Phantom wallet extension, backpack, or even Soulflare. Soulflare and Phantom are my two favorite Solana wallet extensions. And that's what I use within. If you have the Phantom app, mobile app, you can use Radium right there within the Phantom app wallet itself. Just like back in the days of using like Trust Wallet to do DApp integration as well.
Okay, yeah, this makes a little more sense to me because I have stake, but I've just never done the yield farming part of it, so that part I understand.
Okay, yeah. So usually with the staking side, like there's two parts to farming usually. Adding to liquidity, and then taking those LP tokens and staking them for extra income. So what you're doing is you are showing that you don't just have trust in the system, but you have belief in the system, I guess is the best way to explain it. The difference between farming and staking. Staking is different with like NFT projects, or you're just yield farming by staking on a one-sided piece. But a lot of it has moved to like a concentrated liquidity format, which is also known as like a Uniswap V3 fork.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely look into that a little bit more because I don't jump into anything without having a comprehension and an understanding of it because it is my wallet. I like to make sure my assets are protected because ain't nobody happy when they're going hungry because they lost what they had.
100%. One of the things that I always recommend people do before whenever leaving any DeFi platform is disconnecting their wallet, both at the on the site as well as within the wallet itself. It does make it a little bit harder sometimes when you go back to the site for easy, but it's really just putting in your password again and connecting your wallet, which brings you back to there. As Hart sort of said, being mindful of your crypto is your number one thing that you can do. So next up, we're going to go back to Twitter because that's sort of where we showcase how to get to a lot of sites. And earlier we talked about JoinFire and their wallet extension, and we're going to go do that, show that case one more time. JoinFire, and we're going to post that up both in the jumbotron, so people can sort of see what we're talking about. And let's get there real quick. And their website. JoinFire, and then their JoinFire XYZ, so that you can read their Medium first, so you can sort of learn what they're talking about with wallet extensions and simulating transactions for that safety side of things. That's one of those big things that we really try to promote is safety in Web3. There's also some other cool ones out there like wallet extension, or wallet guard. And I think it's another one. I forget what it's called. I think it's like Shell Shock or something like that, that does the same exact thing. But that is one of our favorite ways of showcasing, wallet safety. So next up, we are gonna be covering Radium, and then we're gonna go over to the Pulse Chain ecosystem and see what's up new there. And so within Pulse Chain, we love to go see some of our friends, how to pulse, but directly from Pulse Chain as well. You can go to their pulsechain.com. You can use their faucet. And this is one of those things to where you can get, free TPLS, which is the test PLS. We are just entering in our password real quick. And so directly from Pulse Chain, we go to Pulse Chain's website, and within pulsechain.com, we go to their faucet, which then has us switch to Pulse Chain Testnet v3, and then allows us to request 10 TPLS. We can always use the TPLS to go change for PLS. And we will show on how that we can do that as well, directly from their Pulse X as well. And this is one of those things where it's sort of fun, so you can sort of see where what you can get out of all of it. As the big thing that the entire Pulse community is advocating for right now is the going and testing out the test network, testnet, so that you can get used to seeing different things and how different things work, so that you are not caught off by surprise, and that things are going well for you. So today we're going to just show you real quick, we're going to trade out 2 TPLS for some Magic Ink. And then we are going to trade out, I think we've already had ink added to our MetaMask. We do. As you can sort of see here, we have PLSX and PLP. This is our Pulse LP. So as we can see, it didn't auto-populate. And so what we're doing right now is we're going to the token contract address, copying it, and over in liquidity, we're going to find which piece I think it was that we put in. I think it might have been Zen, but this is our PLP, and so we have the first to create liquidity on this. So we're going to be jerks, and we're going to make some really horrible LP pieces to this. So we're going to make it 5 PLS for every 0.01 PLP. We have 0.05 PLP, so we're going to set a really fun liquidity pool here, because the first 48 hours of PulseX is going to be ratio trading. And so this is sort of what is sort of cool about it, is you get to set the prices, and then you get to go make some really cool trades based on what you have going for you. So we initially approved the PLP access, and we are going to supply, we're going to supply 0.2. And we're going to do 5.1, and we're going to create a pool. We're going to confirm that, and we're going to close that. And as the first liquidity provider, we set the price, and we're sort of happy with that. So you can create an LP pool with farming tokens. So if someone else has those same farming tokens, they can get back into other LP tokens. And it's a really cool way of doing weird mix and match combinations to get to whatever end result you want. And if your end result is to get to more pieces, you can. So as you can see right here, we have more PLSX and PLS. And so we're going to trade our PLS. We're going to trade 5 for 5 PLSX. And we're going to confirm that. And then we're going to go back. We've already added PLSX to our MetaMask. As you can see from within the MetaMask, it allows you to know that there's already a token in place. And then we're going to go back over to farm, and we can actually see from pools that no open pools right now, but farms, we do have our PLSX, PLS. So we're going to add more once that comes into play. Oh, we got to add that liquidity first. And so we got a PLS, PLSX. We're going to max that out. We're going to enable. And what this does by using default, it does like the infinity number. By using max, it's the max that you have in your wallet. Doing this allows you to be really safe, meaning that the contract only has access to a maximum amount of. No more than that. So like usually, like if you have $1,000 in your wallet, but you only need 10, then you can authorize, $10 or $11, or what it says as the max that it needs for that trade. And so that if somehow the contract were to get hacked or anything else like that, it only has access to that amount. And so we're going to go back and we're going to confirm that supply, confirm that transaction, add that PLP to MetaMask. We're going to close that up. Going to go back over to our farms, and we're going to wait for that to load. One of the cool features here is if you see a pool that you are not in yet, you can click on get the PLS LP, and it will bring you over there to let you know that how to get that. So we are going to have this reload for just a quick second. Wait for that to load and be connected. And we're going to add the rest of our PLSX PLS. We're going to confirm that. And transaction submitted. So that is sort of what we were covering on Pulse Chain today. It's a little bit more PulseX. We'll have those sites up for you to check out yourself. TJ, anything I might have missed on that? If you want to come up, either join us on the jumbotron or join us in the space, you are welcome, sir. Yeah, that is sort of what we're covering today. And PulseX. Before we move on to our next piece. H, there we go. We see you, sir.
Mate, how are you, Taco?
Well. How's life? If you want to mute your Twitter.
Oh, bear with me.
There we go. We got that echo off.
Is it my echo or was it someone else's?
H, I think it's you.
Yeah, I'm in a mostly quiet room right now, so there shouldn't be no feedback or nothing coming from me.
All right, I think we are good then, and all set. TJ, any questions on your part?
No, mate. I think that was a great overview. I think the only thing I'd probably add, Tucker, when you were talking about removing everything out of your wallet, maybe even we could suggest something like revoke cash, or even just a reminder.
Yes.
So you regularly spring clean, right?
Yep. I do like revoke cash. One of the things that I dislike with revoke cash on the aspect side of LP farms is you're revoking access for a protocol to see those LP tokens. So I 100% agree with you. Revoke cash is awesome. Knowing where your money at, I like to use Degen because it does do wallet observation, so you can sort of find lost money sometimes. And so with revoke cash, if you revoke those LP tokens and you go back to the DeFi protocol, your money won't show up unless you do a like we've done earlier, where you can find your LP pools, find other LP tokens. Those will show up when you reauthorize access to them. So sometimes some people using revoke cash might think they're losing money, but DBank is a really good protocol that helps showcase that.
Yeah, mate, well said. You're spot on the money as always.
Man, one of these days, I hope it's not huge, but I'm going to be wrong. So I hope you're there to help lift me up when I am.
I will, mate. Yeah, 100%. I will not poke and I will not tease.
Okay. Oh, hey, you can poke me all you want, as long as you don't tease me.
That's true. As long as there's a little bit of hugging afterwards.
Hey, all the cuddles. H, how are you doing tonight? Welcome to the big screen.
Right? Yeah, no, I do the everything metaverse in the morning, and so then I find the value of being able to see me and technology are not friends. So I need somebody to hold my hand when I'm walking through something for the first time. Once I start understanding it better, then I'm not so frustrated. But I definitely tell me and explain how things work. That's my style of learning.
Yeah. Our biggest piece that we love is Dbank. That is one of those things to where it allows you to go and see the different things where if you don't even have to connect your wallet, you can just do wallet observation and you can see where your money is at. So they have both a mobile app that connects once you've gone to the website and verified your wallet, or within the app as well. Just going to their website, you can put in any wallet address or ENS that you know. One of my favorite ones, we can always just see some of the big movers and what they have in their wallets, as we can see here within this wallet, over $9 million. And you can see that their protocols are between Moonwell, Superfluid, Arbitrum, assets and ETH. And it looks like they are big holders of Magic and USDT and AJAX. So one of these things is one of those things where I love to go see what people are doing, so that see if I'm missing out on something as well.
And so, I've got a little teaser video. I need to try and to have a look at something when you've got the chance, of course.
Okay.
I hope you'll appreciate it. Mind you, knowing you've been across every blockchain. That would not surprise me either.
What is it? You got me on pins and needles.
No, you have to go have a look. And I don't want to derail the conversation.
All right, I will look first and then play later. How's that sound?
Mate, that sounds perfect. As I said, mate, you've probably been there. You've probably done that. You're one of those guys that you're on top of everything.
Well, thank you. Next DeFi protocol that we are going to cover tonight is Camelot. Camelot is on Arbitrum. Grail and Grail X are their two governance tokens that it really incentivizes their pools. And so what we do through Camelot is we love to go through their link tree. They have a really good link tree. They have an amazing Telegram group and Discord. I personally just like their Telegram group over Discord. They're really responsive to everything and any questions that you might have there. So Camelot app takes you directly to their decks. And from that piece, what I like to show is I always like to say I keep all of my wallet extensions locked unless I reload. One of the things that you sort of find in the bigger DeFi side of things is that they try to keep things nice and clean and simple. And so a lot of times people get afraid that the simplicity side of things means that has red flags, but really it means that there's so much going on. They don't want to distract you with fancy colors, with fancy things going on. And so we're just going to sort of touch on some of the aspects within Camelot. There's so much going on in Camelot. I haven't even had a chance to break it all down and figure everything out within Camelot. And so I've only worked on a couple things within their X Grail and their Earn. And I still, when I'm trying to do something, I still click on the wrong link and have to back up for a second to get to the right pool or something. Right now, Grail is trading at almost $3,000 at $29.56. From what I have been told from people that have been in Arbitrum since the beginning, that Grail actually used to trade around, started in that $100 range. So shout out to all of those people that just sat back and earned passive income through Grail and their dividends and their launchpad and their yield boosters. And so one of those things really easy from getting Grail, you can get Grail from their swap real easy. Arbitrum makes it super easy to trade. And so we can see here. we forgot a zero. We're going to do a tiny trade so we can showcase what this looks at and what we can do with that grail after we get it. And as you can see on the screen, it's actually not showing up on the screen. Why is it not showing up? Let's stop this for a second and reshare this. Oh, window. Tire screen 1. There we go. So this is what we got here so that people can see. And we're going to reject this real quick just so people can see what that looks like. So we are doing a swap of 0.005 ETH. We're going to be getting 0.003 Grail. And so within that swap, this is what the Join Fire extension does, is it shows us what's going out and what's coming in and our estimated fee as well. So there's actually a little bit of arbitrage to be made here because we're putting in $1.03 and we're getting $1.05 out of it. So that's actually something cool right there. I love when prices are off a little bit and we win on those micro trades. So go us. So we have put that swap in, and as you can see, the path that it takes is ETH to ARB to Grail. And then we're going to go back and we're going to take that Grail over here and we're going to get X Grail. And so from the trade, we'll go over to the X Grail tab. We'll go to the first tab down, which is X Grail. You can see here that Dividends, Launchpad, and Yield Booster are their own individual tabs, or you can get them from the main X Grail page as well. By getting X Grail, that means that we have faith in the Camelot ecosystem. And so we're going to stake that Grail and we're going to convert it into X Grail. And this is where Join Fire shows us what's happening. We're putting in 0.003. We're getting 0.003 back. And we're going to confirm that. Costing 19 cents. Yay, layer 2s. Lay Arbitrum.
The cost of business. But no, it's actually nice because I've seen those mints and those fire tokens and now actually getting to see it.
Yeah,
I definitely gonna go looking back into it a little bit more.
Yeah, and what's really hilarious is we were able to get the Arbitrum airdrop, and we took that entire airdrop and split it. Most of it went back into the ecosystem, into LP pools to earn more Arbitrum because, yes, Arbitrum is at around $1.30 right now. But that's going to be going up like crazy again. So we get to see some really cool things there. Yeah. So we have a redeem amount that we can redeem. And so redeem ratio is 50%. And we're going to redeem we're gonna not touch that right now, but we're gonna go over and show what you can do with X Grail. We have one position open, I think. No, we have 2 positions open that we made so that people could sort of see what we were doing with them. Right here we have an ETH USDC because we have put into the dividend structure. We actually, by putting Grail into this dividend feature, we earn part of all transaction fees within ETH and USDC. So we go and claim that because it's fun. Actually, we're not because we're going to earn less than a cent. And it's going to cost us 19 cents to do it. So we're not doing that trade today. It's one of the cool things of using Join Fire is it shows you your cost of things. But if we were to we can put in some more of our X Grail. to earn higher yields.
Oh.
And that's something that you can always do. The more X grail you earn, you can compound that back to earn even more dividends. You're not losing your grail. You're just setting it aside because you're not doing anything with it, and you're earning money. That's where we look at a lot of that passive income. And that's under the dividends. Under the Launchpad piece, you can see here that you can put in a little bit of grail to partake in some of the upcoming ecosystems that are coming out through the Launchpad on Camelot. And so by doing that, you get a little bit of a bonus. You get there's some upcoming pieces. There was just some past perks to where you got different tokens for participating and being part of. So some really cool features there. Last but not least is the yield booster. And that is by looking at your pools that you have going on. You can see what you're making there and earn a little bit more on it as well. You can see through your settings that if you have a yield bearing position, if you've locked it, and if you have an active boost going on, or if you have it staked in a nitro pool. Last time we checked, there was not an ARB ETH nitro pool, and that's where you're taking your position, your LP tokens, and locking them up to have that belief in the ecosystem. And so one of the things that here we can do is we can show what these different pools look like, and we'll look at them under our positions so we can actually see them directly. So our ARB ETH, we have matching nitro now, actually. So we're going to actually showcase what that looks like. We have a status locked for 30 days. We have 22 days left on that lock, and we're getting a 1.164 multiplier. So we're going to be earning extra interest just for lock and saying we're not going to touch this for 30 days. We're getting a 19% farm bonus, and we're getting a base bonus of 16%. So right now we have a pending, so 8 days we've earned roughly 20 cents of Grail, as well as 83 cents of Grail just from normal pieces there. So there's some really cool ways to benefit. And now we're going to go show what that matching nitro looks like. So we're going to go see if there was a matching nitro ETH pool. There is not. So I thought that they had one open, but they don't yet. And so, but if there is a matching nitro pool, it will take you right to it. So sometimes you might want to go backwards and see what nitro pools there are, and see what you might want to make liquidity pools for an extra bonus. And you can actually sort them here also by their APR. And so we're going to sort them by. So this one earns an additional 110%. It has over $364,000 of liquidity locked. And you can see by the Camelot that it is a locked official nitro pool. So that there's a locked liquidity base. So that's some really cool things. It does showcase that you don't have to have a locked duration. You don't have to have a end date, and no minimum deposit. And you don't have to be whitelisted, which is pretty cool. So as you can see with some of these other pools, this DSQ pool, you do have to be whitelisted to enter that pool. So you can even token gate for a certain period of time of who can get into a pool, so you can look after your community first if you're doing something within Arbitrum. We're going to go back over to our X Grail, and we're going to hop a little bit more into our let's see here. We're gonna max that out by 1. And then we're gonna put the rest of our grail into our dividend, just so you can sort of see what that looks like. So that's about $3 we're putting in there, and we're gonna carry the last of it over into our grail dividend pool, so that you can see, by us putting even more in there, we're going to earn more of the fees earned within the pool. So that's one of the things that we really are looking forward to, because as we claim and stake, you earn a little bit more each time, and it compounds itself. So sometimes it might not be the smartest move to make to claim, like it is right now. It's not the smartest, but we're okay with setting that aside and waiting for a better day, which it continuously updates every epoch. And as you can see right here, the next epoch is in roughly 6 days and 12 hours. So it updates every 7 days. So it shows what people are getting. So it's some really cool stuff here. Really happy with what Arbitrum, with what Camelot is doing on Arbitrum. And so have a chance to play with that and have some fun. And you'll be surprised by what you see. Having some fun doing what kind of money you can make with that. So once again, as I always like to say, disconnecting your wallet from the site first, then going under settings within your MetaMask and disconnecting the site from your MetaMask as well. Before we move on, next, Hart or TJ, any questions?
Oh no, not at this time. But I got a little more comprehension of charts and everything coming from stock trading. So I'm kind of looking at this, seeing how you're talking about dividends. Well, that's in stocks, and then of course you got your interest, your high interest. That's anything financial. So yeah. Definitely, other than the whole, you got to swap here, swap there, extra steps, but it also saves you a whole bunch if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. One of the things that when coming to stocks and even tokens, you can always search for paper trading sites to where you get fake money. And you can learn all the different features and functions as well, because they use real prices. So you can sort of see, if I did this, what happens. KuCoin has the same thing, so that you can test all the different features within futures, so that you can learn without having to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, that was one thing I did
when I was learning how to trade stocks, was the paper trading.
Yeah. No, and this is one of those things where it really gives you a good access to a lot of that information. And so let's see. Last up, we are going to hit up Savvy DeFi. And Savvy hit a little bit of a road bump. I will be honest. They launched on the day that Avalanche went down for the first time since Avalanche launched. So they had a little bit of a hiccup with their fair launch. But what they did is they paused their contract, and then they refunded everyone that had participated. So it's going to be really interesting when they get back going. But we're going to go show what Savvy DeFi looks like. We are whitelisted for their test net. All you got to do is hit them up on Twitter or hit them up on Discord. If you tell them Taco sent you, you'll get a couple NFTs, yield boosting NFTs for when you do get into their fair launch. But we're going to show off their test net real quick and talk about what they are. So Savvy DeFi, once it fully launches, is an over-collateralized, non-liquidating, self-repaying loan protocol. So what that means is if you have $100, you go and deposit it in Savvy. There's going to be, just like Beefy Finance or other yield optimized strategies where you're earning interest on your yield on what you deposit. So you take that $100 and you go put it in a 12% yield bearing farm. You get to pick the strategy you want, and then you get to borrow up to 50% right now. So $50. And so what's happening is that $100 is earning yield, but what that yield is paying off your loan. So it's pegged to a synthetic token, so it doesn't liquidate. You don't have to worry about that option being closed and losing your liquidity, your initial investment. But now you have what I like to call FAFO money. Fuck around and find out. So if you have if you have a little money that you can set aside for, a couple of years or a little bit of time that you don't need, you can go and take a loan on it that repays itself. And you get the initial back, plus you get to keep what you borrowed. So pretty cool aspect there. And right now, Savvy DeFi is running on Fuji. Fuji is Avalanche's testnet. And we're going to let the whole DApp change us over from Arbitrum over into Fuji testnet. We've done this a couple times, so we know the ins and outs of it. If you ever have any questions, hit them up on Discord, hit them up on Telegram. And we're going to have a little bit of fun with it. So we're going to walk through. One of the cool things that they let you do is they let you mint a whole bunch of testnet tokens so that you can play around with it. And so we're going to mint all of those, because who doesn't want 5 to 10 testnet Bitcoin? You can go look at your testnet wallet and feel like a super rich man. And so this allows you to have that fuck around and find out money, to where you're working on a testnet and you get to see how everything is by itself. And so one of the things is being whitelisted, you get to use it and see how it works. And so this is their testnet piece. And so right now what they do is they have 4 different collaterals that you can deposit. And so as you can see, we've done this a couple times, as we've deposited $3,001 into USDC, 5,000 into DAI, 4,000 in USDT, 4,000 in USDC. And so what we now have, because we minted the testnet token, we have $1,000 each of each. And so we're going to showcase what that looks like. And so as you can see, they have Stargate and Yield Yak. They have Vesper and Stargate, and then they have Beefy Finance, Aave and Beefy, for different pool strategies. So you can see what type of APY you're going to earn on your deposit. So if you're earning 6.53% on $100, it will take roughly 11 years to pay off. It will take roughly about, because of compounding, it'll take about 9 to 8 years of just it sitting there earning 6.53% interest. Now, on the opposite side of that, if you wish to pay it back earlier, you can. If you've made more money with your loan, you can pay off your initial. And what's really cool is if a different yield strategy comes up that's better, you can move your position to that yield strategy without giving up any piece of that. And so the way they have it right now is a 2-part process, to where you do have to pick the pool that you want, and you have to, we're going to max approve. We've already approved, and we're going to max deposit all of what we have available. so we can sort of showcase what that looks like with their USDC. And then once that process goes through, it takes about 30 seconds and it shows a deposit in collateral. We can go and borrow right away. So by depositing $1,000, we have $500 available to borrow because we've already max borrowed everything else. And so we're going to set that up and we're going to borrow our max amount. And so just so you know what's going on is we have a total being paid of earning interest, which is being done super fast. So you can sort of see what that looks like. And then we have our different strategies. We have our swaps. We have both external swaps and Savvy swaps. So you can see what the Savvy USDC token looks like. And we can switch that over to USDC. And so we have 8,400 available. And we can convert that directly into USDT. And once again, just remember, this is all testnet. So you can learn all of the different aspects of it as well. Before I move on, TJH, any questions real quick? All right. Any from UH?
I was just thinking I was in a space not yesterday, the day before now, with Savvy, and they were talking about that. So, yeah, I mean, they are definitely onto something.
Yeah, and what they're showcasing is that they are literally just doing with what the banks, the big boys do. They take your money and they go and make interest on the loans that they give you. They earn more money than what you paid in, and so it's a chance to sort of to make money like the big guys, and it's a really, really cool thing to do. We're just sort of going through what allows us to be, like the big guys and have that time to play out. So it's really fun to then, have that fuck around and find out money. Because one of the ways that I like to sort of showcase this and sort of talk about what they have going on is, let's say you have $1 million that you don't know what to do with, but you want to go buy a house that's, $420,000, and then there's like $80,000 in upgrades to the house that you want to do. This is just a scenario. You could go put that $1 million into Savvy, borrow $500,000, and that $1 million is earning interest, roughly 6.4% right now. So that would take it roughly, right around 9 years of just sitting there to earn enough interest to pay back that $500,000. So you just paid cash for a house, so you owe nothing on it, and in 9 years you're going to have another $1 million at your disposal. So it's sort of cool to see, what you're able to do there, because then you could go take a HELOC loan at like 2% interest, and borrow against your entire house, pay off your debt, and now you have $1 million to do with what you want, and you owe $500,000 loan at 2% that you can take 60 plus years, because you can keep refinancing HELOCs, which are sort of crazy but fun ways of moving real estate money around. So within Savvy, you can sort of see everything that we've done and what those assets are that sort of show back into play. And so it is sort of fun to see what they have going on. And then within their dashboard, it shows you exactly what the max borrow credit is. But you can borrow everything available if you wanted to. And it shows you really cool here what 12 strategies you have going on, what interest you're earning, and what you're doing with that to go have a little bit of fun. So that is Savvy DeFi in a nutshell. And as you can see, we're going to go to Snow Trace's testnet for our wallet address, and we can go see after depositing all of it and then withdrawing, you can sort of see how much more money we have to go swap around and find out. So it's pretty cool to see what you can do with synthetics, changing them around. And so it's really fun to see. Like always, I always recommend disconnecting first from the site and then from your wallet anytime you're doing anything for that safety side of things. And so that is the DeFi side of the night. Now we get to go to a little bit of the fun after dark stuff. It has been a crazy day in the news. We've seen that Trump has been indicted. So and Florida says that they will not assist with the extradition. We see that Russia is moving nukes into place. And one of the best things where I'm at right now, I'm in Miami. NFT Miami starts tomorrow. So that's going to be one of the funnest times. This is going to be a fun time all the way around. So I'm really excited for it. So that's sort of I'm surprised with what's going on in the world, and but at the same time, I'm really excited. Anything are you going to be coming to NFT NYC?
I wish, I got a whole legal thing going on with previous employers, so my finances are all tied up with that right now. But definitely, if I could make it, I would love to. I mean, everything except for my travel expenses, I have covered. I just need to make sure my bills are paid because that's my priorities.
Hey, definitely, man. Definitely. Always have those priorities. We got to take care of our priorities. So,
less than 1/8 total value on piece of property that I bought for my niece. I'm this close to having it paid off. I'm not tricking it off.
all right. So yeah, no, that's
And then this is a 5-year financial plan I have paid off, and I'll have paid off in about 18 months.
nice. That's a good plan. Proud of you.
You gotta save a little bit of money and not pay all that extra interest.
Yeah. Interest is the number one killer on a lot of different things, but interest is a two-sided sword. You can earn interest in DeFi and you can pay it off in CeFi. So,
It is oftentimes referred to as, the eighth wonder of the world?
yes.
Compounding interest.
Yep. So yeah.
Oh, and I always love that example of would you rather have $1 million now or a penny doubled for 30 days?
Oh, when I was a kid, I always said $1 million till we sat down in class to learn what a penny doubled every day looks like. You know, I'll take a penny doubled every day for 30 days. I know that math these days.
I don't know how savvy are you at trading $1 million. I mean, if you can leverage that to your advantage and you don't have that much loss, well, you can definitely tell that it's a numbers game. You know, how risky do you want to be?
Yeah. Well, I look at it this way in conjunction with that question. Well, if I get a penny doubled every day, why don't I go and leverage that penny each day that I get, those pennies I get each day?
Now that we have alternatives and giving banks a run for the money on the interest, yeah, definitely. You know, I thought about this concept a long time ago. Why cannot I take a loan and have it pay itself off with the interest to build credit?
Yep.
Well, I have no credit history. I went to the bank. I was looking at buying, actually, when I was learning the stocks, you know, for my profits, I wanted to go buy my van. So I go down $2,000 to the bank, and I wanted to take out $500 loan, because that's all I needed for the difference. And even with, you know, even with all that extra overhead for collateral, I still, you know, I need a co-signer and I need to jump through all these legal hoops. And I looked at him, I'm just like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yep. All right. Yeah. That's it's one of those things where there is a couple tools to sort of deviate from what we've been talking about a little bit. You know, within and welcome to the stage, Satoshi. I know Credit Karma. One of the tools that they have is like reporting like rent and other payments and stuff like that to help build credit. And there's some cool tools out there to help you build credit the non-traditional way. Even from paying on subscriptions that you might have. There's a really easy, it's a really easy thing to do. So, yeah, that is, it's a hard thing to build. But you know, it's something that can be done.
Well, yeah, and I being here in Web3, I meet all these wonderful people like you. Like, you're a great resource for me. You got a lot of knowledge. But I also, like, I meet politicians, attorneys, different aspects of technology, and I even just met someone who can help build credit, and they say they can do it relatively fast.
Okay. Always be careful with those. That is just my my piece. But you know, one of the biggest things with credit is it usually takes time, but there's ways. There's some good reading material out there on what to do. One of the funniest things about credit that I'm going to say here is that if you have credit cards and you pay off your debt every single month, your credit score will actually be lower than if you carry over just a little bit of debt each month. It's a really funny thing about the FICO score. They want to see you use your credit that you have to say that you're more credit worthy. It's one of those weird things that I've never understood. So I would usually let $5 carry over, or every other month I'd pay it off completely. And so, you know, it's just one of those weird things that that the FICO score does.
Oh, and they penalize you if you use all of your credit too. They want you to use a range.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has it figured out. I mean, but I've always paid for everything cash because my philosophy is if I can't afford it today, I don't need it.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. Satoshi, how are you doing tonight?
What's going on, my brothers? What's happening?
We are just getting ready to end the night. We've been having a good time covering a few different DeFi protocols, and yeah, we covered what did we cover? We covered Radium, we covered Pulse Chain, and we covered Camelot on Arbitrum. Well, we went over the testnet because we like to showcase testnet so people can learn how to play around, so they know what to do, especially within with ratio trading.
Interesting.
And then we went over Savvy DeFi on Avalanche.
Is TJ there or is he asleep?
TJ's there.
I'm here but working away at the net. He doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Let's go with him. I can hear him. He's back now. He's up. They just finishing up part of the working week, buddy. Nice. You've been well. I'm well. I've done my 5 days. Now I get 4 days off. Lucky man. Lucky man.
Lucky.
Nice.
Well, we got to go to bed because we got to be up in 5 hours to hit up NFT Miami. So that is where we are going to be for the next several days, and it's going to be a blast. Hey, I'm excited, and some cool things.
What are you farming at the moment in Taco?
My major DeFi farming is done on Stella Swap, on the Wrap Bitcoin Glimmer pool. Especially as Glimmer goes up and Bitcoin goes up, I'm seeing some good returns there. Camelot, I put a bunch into the Arbitrum ETH, and then on the side I do Arbitrum USDC. And then one of my other big protocols that I use is Boba, some of their DeFi protocols, and Stakefish on Arbitrum, and then Uniswap. I do a couple pools.
It seems very complex. Why don't you just buy Bitcoin, bro?
Well, I can, but and I do, but I like to diversify into shit coins because they
At least you know the term.
Oh yeah, well, I could, what I like to say is everything else is an altcoin other than Bitcoin, and that's the true piece to it.
Very true. I'll agree with you there.
But everything within a lot of different ecosystem, I really enjoy.
Fair enough. No point arguing with that.
So, but there's always a fun thing to make, especially within the DeFi side of NFTs. Love making flips there, and pulling some good stuff around. So yeah. But that's my big thing on all of that. Liking what icosahedron's doing, and like a lot of the stuff going on Avalanche right now. Recently, I actually found some really cool pools on Kava, which is the EVM version of the Kava chain in Cosmos. So some fun stuff all the way around.
Very nice.
It sounds like the blockchains are building all around.
Yep. There's some good stuff going on all the way around. Right now, let's see, 4 times. Right now, I'm doing DeFi on 20 chains right now.
How do you keep track of that, dude?
my number one piece is Dbank. Dbank, that helps me keep track of a lot of it. And usually, like every Saturday or Sunday, I go through and I farm everything and harvest and compound back. Unless it's a very volatile pool that needs my eye on it, every few days or every few hours or constantly. Then
It'll take you half the day to get down to get your level.
Yeah.
When markets get volatile, you sometimes don't even have an hour.
Yep.
I was in one of those Wall Street bets pump and dumps, and there was a penny stock I was in before it even happened, so I didn't even know. This is also a learning experience on stop losses. Use percentages, don't use dollar amounts when you're messing with penny stocks, because that 2 cents on 5 cent a week average moving definitely kills all of your profits when all of a sudden it jumps astronomically.
Yep. It does. So.
Yeah, that was about a $20,000 learning experience, even though I did profit $800, but it was all because I stop loss. When it jumps up $1, it comes back down to that my stop loss, 2 cents my stop loss was at done.
Man. Yeah. Let's help you get back up there,
Well, this was all part of my first year of trading. I took 4,000, and after everything was said and done, I turned it into 16,000. I cashed out, paid off my van, my phone, put a significant down payment on that property, and I started up an LLC with it, and I still had $1,000 I kept in my trading account. So
Nice.
I don't think that was too bad.
No, not bad at all. We will.
However, my most emotional gamble, it was 100% a gamble because I was learning, didn't know what I was doing. I was up to 15 grand roughly. I threw everything, SPY, option, contract, total dollar valuation. I must have watched that account fluctuate. Well, the lowest it went was under $2. I think it was like $1,800 roughly that all my option contracts at lowest. But then, however, that I chose SPY because S&P 500, they're more reliable, they're more forgiving as a beginner trader. So I held on to that, and then as soon as I got up to about 2,000 profit, cashed out, and I ran. And if I hung on to it a little longer, well, I'm not even thinking about the unrealized profit because I didn't even calculate it.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be a big thing. Well, we are glad I am happy that you're still at it, because what you're doing, in my opinion, is you're giving yourself a chance to make it back. So, yeah. That it.
Having good mentors, all the credit, and well, I had time, so I crammed about 5 years of trading education into my mind before I started trading. So I had the education, I didn't have the experience, and that helped a lot. So then when it came into Web3 with the NFTs, I took the same mentality. I didn't start buying anything. I did my research, and I looked. Actually, it was through stocks I found NFTs when I seen that NFT gaming was the conversation of the segment I seen. And I'm like, well, I can now have a digital picture to hold asset value and expand my portfolio. So it's fun. Fuck it, I'll try it. And here I am.
Here you are. All right. Well, it's a good way, you know. Um, we're happy that there's so many good educational pieces out there that it's a continuous learning aspect for it, and really happy to see um, people continuing to build and to continue to participate, I guess you could say. So, um, love to hear more on how your story goes, and uh, what you come up with, Hart. You know.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this is a learning, I'm calling it journey experience because I don't know where I'm going with it, but I'm going somewhere. Web3 full time is my end goal because there's so much technology. I got involved into a collaboration that is involved with AI, so I'm going to be learning so much, and I'm going to watch the future grow. And who knows, next year we may be the ones who are flying around in the Lamborghinis and the overpriced cars.
Yeah, definitely. Um, that'll be the fun. Those will be the fun days. So, um, really excited to see how that goes. Um, all right. Well, we're going to call this a night tonight. Satoshi left. TJ, any closing thoughts?
Keep safe, guys. Always remember homesick. And keep your eyes over your shoulders.
All right. All right. Heartthrob, any closing thoughts?
Well, this was definitely a pleasure. I enjoy these educational spaces. I'm a weird one because I like learning, but I've always been that way. Definitely, it's always got to be collaboration, not competition, because your net worth is your net worth.
Yep.
So that's one of my favorite things I've heard. I stick with it, and yeah, future's coming. Put on your short shorts, put on your shades, because we're making waves and our future's bright.
Yep. And then for those that always want to know sort of where we do our trading at too, outside of on-chain, we love using MEXC. If you want to learn about MEXC, please use our referral link, as that helps us out, but also gives you 40% off all of your trading fees. One of the greatest things about MEXC believes in privacy. You only need to sign up. Your only KYC you need to do is using your email. That does limit you to a maximum withdrawal of 80 Bitcoin per day. I apologize if that might be a hamper on some, but definitely. And so, please use those links when possible, as it goes a long way. And so, as we like to end every episode, we end with our words of thoughts, our thoughts and words of wisdom, which, a closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth. And means you cannot get opportunity if no one knows about it, and you can't be ready for opportunity if you're not looking for it. And so with that, we're going to go out with our intro in reverse as our outro. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you on the flip. And after the outro, we are going to end with the greatest joke ever. And so we want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, as we have a great time. So thank you one and all for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the Jumbotron. Thank you for hanging out with us for almost 2 hours tonight as we get ready for NFT Miami Week. We will see you there. Come find us. Come look for Clopper as we work to bring more value on chain to the NFTs you already own. With that, we will see you on the flip side. And you thought we were going to leave you with just that? No, 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 no. We are not that simple. We have ended every single night with the same joke, time in and time again. Knock, knock.
Who's there?